Hi, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. How's everybody? How's everybody? Have you done anything fun since I saw you last? I do know one thing. I love this fall weather. If you've noticed, I got my hoodie on. I love getting out the sweaters and stuff around this period of time. I hope you're enjoying this weather too. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. If you don't know who I am, if this is your first time here, my name is Mr. Paul. I'm an artist and an art teacher. And I assume that the reason that you're here today might be that you want to do an art project. So you've come to the right place. Today what we're going to do is we are going to talk a little bit about a subject I'm sure somebody has mentioned to you before. And that is, what do you want to be when you grow up? Isn't that what adults and old people always ask young kids at your age? Well, what do you think you're going to be when you grow up? And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then what we're going to do is we are going to draw a picture of what you might like to be as you get to be an older person, right? Now, the cool thing about it is that you may change your mind next week. You might want to be something else, but for right now, what do you want to be? Today we're using regular paper, pencils, erasers, something that you probably have at home, and some kind of color like crayons or colored pencils or markers, things like that. So if you want to, gather those up and we will begin in just a second. Well, I'm back again, and I hope you are too. Let's start out with this conversation. I know that when I was around your age, people, like my parents, friends, they would come over and stuff and they'd go, Paul, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. Just talking to me, and they would finally go, well, have you ever thought about what you want to be when you grow up? And really at the time I thought, I didn't really give it much thought. I don't think young people really give it much thought, and that's okay. I think that's normal. But today what I want you to do is I really kind of want you to think about that. As I said a little bit earlier, by the time you're in your 20s, you may have come up with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 things that you would like to do. But today I want you to just kind of stop right now, and I want you to think about what you might like to be or want to be when you get older. We all do that. Eventually you're going to become something. You're going to either become a doctor or an artist or an athlete, or you're going to, everybody's going to be doing something in their life. And so today what I want you to do is I want you to think about that. You might want to start by asking yourself, well, what am I good at? What do I like to do? I mean, if you like to play soccer, right? You might think right now today, wow, wouldn't that be great if I could play professional soccer, right? Or if you're an artist, if you like to draw and paint, you might go, that would be cool. I'd love to be able to do that. So think of something that you feel strongly about today. It could be something like, I love dogs, or I love cats. Maybe I could grow up and work with animals like a veterinarian. So it's just a matter of kind of getting your brain to kind of think that way and use your imagination, right? Use your imagination to see yourself a little bit older and what you would like to do. Not just as a job, but as how you want to live your life as an adult, right? And again, this is kind of older stuff to think about, but it's never too early to dream about things. I dream that I would like to do this or go here when I grow up. It's always good to dream about where you will go and who you will meet and what you will want. And it's something that you will probably do, just like me and your parents and everybody else. We do that for the rest of our lives, right? So I believe, truly believe, that you have to be able to visualize yourself doing something that you love. And what I mean by visualize is that you picture it in your head, right? Yet we all make kind of pictures in our head. And so we get to visualize what that may look like. If you want to be a politician, you might want to visualize yourself in front of a microphone on a stage talking to people. If you want to be a baseball player, you might be able to visualize yourself hitting a home run out of the park. So when I talk about visualize, that's just a fancy word that means that it means you're making those pictures in your head. Now, once we kind of get that, once we get into and get involved in coming up, because you know me, I mean, it's like one of the hardest things to do as an artist is to come up with your idea, right? And so that's kind of what I'm trying to get you to think about now, because what I want you to do, once you kind of figure out what you think you might want to be, we're going to draw a picture of it. We're going to visualize it in our head, and then we are going to try to draw. And me says what I want to be. For the very longest time, probably since I was like in the 7th grade or so, I loved art, and I knew that somehow I was going to be able to, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do art. And so I drew myself in front of a big canvas, and I've got some paints over here. Now, you don't have to write that down if you don't want, right? But I think it's kind of cool to do the big letters and do them in color. But that's what I came in. I visualized myself when I was younger. If I was going to be a professional artist and live my life as an artist, what would that look like? And that's kind of what I'm wanting you to do too. And it could be something simple, you know. How about you love people and you love to help people? Well, maybe you could be a nurse or a doctor. Or maybe you love to read and you love books. Maybe you could become a librarian. Maybe you're into doing tricks and magic tricks and stuff. Well, maybe you could be an entertainer and do that, right? So I want you to get your imagination juices flowing, right? And to think about what that might be. And again, you don't have to stick with this for the rest of your life. So don't think that, oh, I don't know, maybe I won't like doing that when I'm 40. Yeah, I get that. But for right now, just for fun, think of something that you really, really love to do. And visualize yourself doing it so you can draw a picture of it. One of the things that it takes to be the thing we're going to draw, or we want to be, is dedication. You have to dedicate yourself to that. I mean, my favorite example of that is, think of Michael Jordan. Do you really believe that when Michael Jordan was your age, he thought he was going to be one of the great basketball players of all time? Probably not. He was just a kid that loved to play basketball. But with his dedication to it, that's what happened. Well, we all know what happened, right? So I think that's kind of important to think about while you are thinking about what you're going to draw. So today, the subject is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And secondly, the project is, you're going to draw a picture of what it would be like for you in your future. What would that look like? Okay? So We're going to start, I want you to draw like this. This is what is a horizontal, right? And this is vertical. We are going to draw horizontally so you can have a lot of room to spread your picture out, okay? Don't allow yourself to think, oh, I could never be a great basketball player, or oh, I'm not that smart to be a doctor. Forget that. Don't think about that. We're thinking about what your dream is, right? And when you're dreaming, we all love to dream. I don't know about you, but when I was little, I wanted to be Superman because I used to dream when I was asleep of flying, right? So for when I was real little, I used to think that one of these days I was going to grow up and be able to fly. Well, guess what? That never happened, right? But dreaming when you're awake about things that you want, places that you want to go to. When I was little, I always knew I wanted to travel. And that's something that when I grew up, I was able to do. I traveled all over the place. And so it's never too early for you to dream about something that you might like to do as you get older. So I hope everybody's come up with something or is thinking about something. In every class I've ever had, I've always had people that go, I don't know what I'm going to do. Fake it. Pretend. How about you love to eat cake? One of these days you're going to grow up and be a baker. Maybe have your own bakery shop. It's a way of being creative. It's a way of trying to figure out who you are and what you want. So one thing I'm going to have you do when you actually start drawing on your piece of paper is I want you to plan it out. And that's called composition. Where am I going to put me? Where am I going to put that football touchdown? I want you to figure it out. I don't want you to just start drawing stuff. I want you to plan this out. And use pictures or use images that would be really dramatic enough for you to tell your story. You know, I just don't want a picture of someone standing in a field and I look at it and I go, well, I don't know really what's going on. So if you want to be a big football star, show you throwing a football. If you want to be a doll maker as you get older, maybe sitting there and building a doll from scratch. Okay, so let's get started with this. Make sure that you have your materials. We're going to be leaving in just a little bit, and we are going to come back and we are going to start on this art project, okay? So think of what you want, visualize it in your head, right? It could be, hey, it doesn't even have to be serious. It could be funny. You want to be a clown when you grow up? Go for it. Draw you in a clown outfit, right? I know clowns are scary, but anyway, get ready, and we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to start this art project because I want to see what you think you want to be when you grow up.